Good morning. Happy Veterans Day. As you guys know, we have a special assembly here today. And to start us off, before we get to meet all our veterans and before Ms. Herman comes out, we have a short video that we want to show you. And it's very important that you pay attention to this video. It's only 5 minutes, but it's going to help you embrace the importance of why we celebrate today and why veterans are so important to us and to our country. Raise your hand if you have a veteran in your family, somebody that served in any armed force. That's a lot of people. So think of them today. All right, so Mr. B, gonna hit the lights for us?
They gave up their chance to be revered old men. They gave up everything for our country, for us. And all we can do is remember. I will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. In memory of those who gave the last full measure of devotion, may our efforts to achieve lasting peace gain strength. Let us make a vow to our dead. Let us show them by our actions that we understand what they died for. Strengthened by their courage, heartened by their value, and borne by their memory, let us continue to stand for the ideals for which they lived and died.
In the long history of the world, only a few generations have been granted the role of defending freedom in its hour of maximum danger. I do not shrink from this responsibility. I welcome it. I do not believe that any of us would exchange places with any other people or any other generation. The energy, the faith, the devotion which we bring to this endeavor will light our country and all who serve it. We shall pay any price, bear any burden, meet any hardship, support any friend, oppose any foe to assure the survival and the success of liberty.
Okay, so now you guys have a great understanding of why we celebrate this day. And now we get to meet the real life superheroes. So I want to welcome Mrs. Herman to come on in. Mrs. Herman? Yep, let's all stand up. Let's give a big round of applause.
I have to lower this, I'm sure. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Oh, that was really sad. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Well, before I get started, there's something you all need to do, and that's every time you see a veteran, what do you say? Thank you. For your... All right, let's try that. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Good job, guys. Can you all be seated for me? And if you'd like to be seated as well, you can, or you can remain. Okay, no problem. Good morning. Welcome, wonderful Woodland staff, students, families, and members of our Falcon community. But most importantly, thank you to the veterans sitting here with us today. I want to begin by saying thank you for your service. Freedom does not come free, and we owe every bit of ours to you. Your courage, sacrifice, and dedication reminds us every day of what it truly means to serve something greater than ourselves. My name is Danielle Herman, and I have the privilege of being a teacher here at Woodland Elementary School. I'm honored to share this special event once again with my incredible co-partner, Miss Fleming. I would also like to take a moment to thank Dr. Chetta and Mr. Reinhold in their leadership throughout planning this event. Together, we're proud to continue what has become a meaningful Woodland tradition, our Veterans Day celebration and Wounded Warrior fundraiser. I'm sure many of you have noticed that there's an empty chair on the stage this morning. It may look empty, but it holds deep meaning. That chair represents all those who can no longer be here with us, the brave men and women who once wore the uniform with pride, who stood for freedom and who can continue to live on in our hearts. It stands for every veteran who deserves to be honored, including my own grandfather David, who I carry with me in spirit today. Just like the veterans sitting before us, they too deserve our endless gratitude and respect. This event began as a way to honor my grandfather, who was one of the proudest veterans I've ever known, a proud flyboy who served in the Air Force during World War II. He had a big personality and was rarely seen without his World War II Air Force veteran's hat, which I'm proudly wearing today in his memory. He loved to share his stories with anyone who asked, always speaking with pride about his time in service and the people he served alongside. I know he would have been so proud to sit among the veterans we celebrate here today. Our Wounded Warrior fundraiser continues to make a tremendous impact, not only by helping our students truly understand the meaning of Veterans Day, but also by directly supporting the heroes who benefit from those donations. Last year, our Woodland community raised close to $5,000, and I'm so proud to share that this year we've already raised over $2,800, with more still coming in. Each dollar represents kindness, gratitude, and the Woodland spirit in action. Just before break, our students participated in our annual walkathon, walking 11 laps around the gym to earn the funds they raised. Many families invited their veterans to join them for the walk, creating powerful, emotional moments that connected generations and remind us all what community truly means. To our veterans, thank you. Thank you for your bravery, your service, and your legacy. To our students, staff, and families, thank you for continuing to honor and support those who protect our freedoms. And now, I'd like to invite my class to lead us in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. Can everyone please rise?
Everyone, please be seated.
At this time, I'm going to ask each veteran to come up and introduce themselves.
My name is Lance Corporal Buckowitz. I'm in the United States Marine Corps. I did 4 years. I'm currently out. How's everybody doing? Good? That's it.
Marine Mazzaris, in the Marine Corps for 4 years, 1960 to 64. Certain things you never forget. My service number, 188-4405. 4 years in the Marine Corps. God bless the Marine Corps. It's 250th birthday yesterday. Semper Fi.
Hello, my name is Bruce Stankiewicz. I am a 4-year veteran of the United States Navy, and I did 1 tour of duty in Vietnam. And I'm the proud grandfather of Mallory Stankiewicz.
Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing? My name is Sergey Jangles, and my daughter, Abby Jangles, is in 5th grade here at Woodland Elementary School. I'm also a police lieutenant here for the Monroe Township Police Department, and I'm also in charge of the Office of Emergency Management currently for Monroe Township. I joined the Marine Corps in 2003, right after I graduated high school. I did 3 years in active duty from 2003 through 2006. And then I did 2 years in the reserves, and I served in Iraq in 2004 and 2005. Then I went to college and got hired in Monroe Township 2007, while continuing going to college part-time. And again, currently I'm working here for the police department and all my children in school here in Monroe Township.
Good morning. My name is Mario Palucci. I was drafted on my 21st birthday, just about. And I was very happy to serve the country that adopted me. I came here 11 years old. And one of the best things that I remember, memories, that I did something that was important for us and not for the little children here, perhaps. So one day that all of us did something that you may have a better future. And that is truly something that keeps me perky. if you will. Thank you.
Morning, everybody. My name's Carl Gaspar, and I'm the proud grandfather of Lydia Warcol, right over here. And I'm a U.S. Army veteran, and I served 6 years, from 72 to 78. And I'm proud to stand here in front of all you guys, and I think I'll be answering some of your questions a little bit later. And I got a couple of funny stories for you. Talk to you soon.
Good morning. My name is Ray Nesby, and I entered the Marine Corps in 1976. I was a corporal, and that's it for now.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Vincent Volpe. I served in the United States Marine Corps during the years of 1980. I got out in 1984. I was a combat engineer, and I love being in the Marine Corps. God bless the United States of America.
Good morning, all. My name is Wayne Stark. I served in the United States Coast Guard, boatswain first class, 10 years active duty, 6 years reserve. Now here in New Jersey still as a longshoreman at the Port of Newark. My niece and goddaughter, Mia Lopez, is here. From the town, grew up in the town, and I'm still here. I'm glad to see you all here today.
Good morning, everybody. Myself and Janet are not veterans, but we are part of the Marine Corps League, and we're part of the Marine Corps League Auxiliary. In the Marine Corps, we serve as associate members. In the Marine Corps League, we serve as associate members. So even if you're not a veteran, when you get a little bit older and you want to get involved in veterans organizations, you can do that as an associate member. If you notice, I have a different color cover than they have. That's because I'm also a state officer. So even not being a veteran, I was asked by our state commandant to be adjutant, which means secretary for the Department of New Jersey, for the state of New Jersey. And if you notice this little medallion, I was also awarded that as the associate member of the year for the state of New Jersey. Now, I'm not saying that to pat myself on the back, because my parents used to tell me, if you're doing something to get recognized, maybe you shouldn't be doing it in the first place. But I just want you to see that there's a place for you in all these veterans organizations, whether you're a veteran or not. And I have to tell you one other thing. It feels good to be in a school. I taught school for 41 years, but I taught middle school. And there's something about the smell and the feel of a school and being around all you boys and girls that kind of warms my heart. So I'm glad you're here today, and I'm glad we're here today. Have you ever noticed the Honor Guard pays meticulous attention to correctly folding the American flag 13 times? You probably thought it was to symbolize the original 13 colonies. Each fold has a distinct and symbolic meaning. The John Basilone Detachment of the Marine Corps League will demonstrate the folding of the American flag and the meaning of each fold. The flag folding ceremony represents the same religious principles on which our country was originally founded. The portion of the flag denoting honor is the canton of blue, containing the stars, representing the states our veterans served in uniform. The canton field of blue dresses from left to right and is inverted when draped as a pall on a casket of a veteran who has served our country in uniform. In this manner, the field of stars will be over the heart of the deceased veteran. In the Armed Forces of the United States, at the ceremony of retreat, the flag is lowered, folded in a triangle fold, and kept under watch throughout the night as a tribute to our nation's honored dead. The next morning it is brought out, and at the ceremony of reveille, run aloft as a symbol of our belief in the resurrection of the body. The first fold of our flag is a symbol of life. The second fold is a symbol of our belief in eternal life. The third fold is made in honor and remembrance of the veteran departing our ranks, who gave a portion of life for the defense of our country to attain peace throughout the world. The fourth fold represents our weaker nature. For as American citizens trusting in God, it is to Him we turn in times of peace as well as in times of war for His divine guidance. The fifth fold is a tribute to our country. For in the words of Stephen Decatur, our country, in dealing with other countries, may she always be right, but it is still our country, right or wrong. The sixth fold is for where our hearts lie. It is with our heart that we pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The seventh fold is a tribute to our armed forces, for it is through the armed forces that we protect our country and our flag against all our enemies, whether they are found within or without the borders of our republic. The eighth fold is a tribute to the one who entered into the valley of the shadow of death, that we might see the light of day. The ninth fold is a tribute to womanhood and mothers, for it has been through their faith, love, loyalty, and devotion that the character of the men and women who have made this country great has been molded. The 10th fold is a tribute to Father, for he too has given his sons and daughters for the defense of our country since they were first born. The 11th fold, in the eyes of a Hebrew citizen, represents the lower portion of the seal of King David and King Solomon, and glorifies in their eyes the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The 12th fold, in the eyes of a Christian citizen, represents an emblem of eternity and glorifies in their eyes God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. The 13th fold. The flag is now completely folded. No red shows. The stars are uppermost in a deep blue background, reminding us of our nation's motto, "In God we trust." After the flag is completely folded and tucked in, it takes on the appearance of a cocked hat, ever reminding us of the soldiers who served under General George Washington and the sailors and Marines who served under Captain John Paul Jones, who were followed by their comrades and shipmates in the armed forces of the United States, preserving for us the rights, privileges, and freedoms that we enjoy today. There are some traditions and ways of doing things that have deep meaning. In the future, you'll see flags folded, and now you will know why. So on behalf of the John Basilone Detachment of the Marine Corps League, we would like to thank you for allowing us to be here today and doing this ceremony for you. Thank you.
Everybody knows that in 1813, Francis Scott Key wrote a poem. All you hear know it. It's sung, the first verse they made into our national anthem. It's sung at all sporting events. It's pretty cool, you know. But the fourth verse, Francis Scott Key won't mind if I tell you the fourth verse. Please pay attention. First of all the veterans, please rise. All the veterans. Okay, here we go. Oh, thus be it ever, when veterans shall stand between their loved homes and a war's desolation, blessed with victory and peace, may the heaven rescue land. Praise the veterans that have made and protected this nation. And conquer we must, when our cause it is just, and this be our motto, in God is our trust. And then the Star-Spangled Banner in triumph shall wave over the land of the free because of the brave. God bless America.
At this time, I'd like to invite Everly and Krisha up from Ms. Fleming's class to introduce our first set of student questions.
Can we please have Mallory from Miss Bianco's class please come up? What was one of your biggest challenges throughout your time in the military?
So Mallory asked, what was one of your biggest challenges throughout your time in the military?
Mallory, could you just ask me what my favorite color was? This is a tough question. No, it's not really a tough question. The toughest part for me in the military was the year I spent over in Vietnam. All right? I was a scared 19-year-old kid away from home for the first time in a foreign land in the middle of a war. The only thing that got me through that was thoughts of my family and letters from my family and friends, and especially that from my future wife and my lovely bride of 55 years. All I can say is, I hope your generation never has to face a war and all its consequences. God bless you all, and God bless America. Thank you.
Anyone else want to answer? No? Yep.
I think on a little different account, a lot of people in different branches of the service, if they served in foreign wars or not, I think one of the biggest challenges is you have to become family with a whole bunch of strangers that you never met before. You know, you get put into boot camp with people from all walks of life, different parts of the country, different parts of the world, different cultures. And before you know it, all those people have to become your family because they're the ones that are going to be the ones saving your butt in the time that you need to. You know, so I don't think it's talked about enough from not just, you know, veterans, but, you know, people in the military right now on active duty. You've got to adjust yourself, your culture to fit in with all because they have to become your family. It's, you know, just like you guys have to, you come into a new classroom, meet new people, you see each other every day, you work with each other every day, you've got to become friends, you've got to become knowing each other. In the military, you're away from your family. That is your family. You're on the front lines, those people are your family. If you're friends with them or not, you become your best friend. And I think that's one of the most difficult things for anybody that joins in the military is adapting to a whole bunch of different cultures that maybe they're not used to, and you don't have a choice but to adapt to it.
Anyone else? No? All right. Krisha, can you come and introduce our next student question?
Please have Jacob from Miss Emmons' class please come up. How intense was the training and the rules in your branch of the military?
So Jacob asked you, how intense was the training and the rules in your branch of the military? No? Don't want to talk about it? Yep.
Okay, so how intense? The intenseness of it came in different levels. So for me, the worst thing that I had to do for the most part in basic training was to sit in a hole half filled with water for 8 hours, looking at nothing, just thinking about how hungry I was and how much of a long walk it was going to be to get back to where I started. But the intensity of it is a physical and a mental conquest that each person deals with differently. But I found myself to be in the best physical condition. It was just like going to gym every day and then coming back and having something to eat because you were starving. But the physical part of it and the mental part of it created a little bit better of a person than I was before I went in. And I was very happy and proud to achieve everything I achieved during the basic training and the advanced training that you get when you go into the military. So basically, everybody's got a tough part that's different from somebody else, but all in all, it just builds your character and you become a better person when you get done. That's all I got to say about that. Thank you.
Anyone else? All right.
Can we please have Dylan from Miss Levitt and Miss Rutherford's class please come up? What was war like if you were stationed in another country?
So Dylan asked you all, what was war like if you were stationed in another country?
Yeah, I was stationed in, first of all, boot camp was Parasile, and that's a special place where they make Marines, similar to what you are going through right now in this school. And you have to listen to your teachers and everything else like that. And when you do something wrong, they try to correct you. In Marine Corps, I'm speaking about the Marine Corps personally, that they have a certain way of correcting you to make sure that you won't make the same mistake. As far as the discipline, what I will tell you right now, the secret, I don't think, not the secret, but one of the many theories is, never forget this, what you put into it is what you get out of it. If you don't put nothing into it, you're not getting nothing out of it, as far as your schooling, as far as listening to your parents and your teachers. And the way to find out, you look in a mirror. You're the only person that knows if you're doing the right thing. So this thing is, to thy own self be true. All right, don't ever forget that. Do you hear me? I didn't hear you. I didn't hear you.
Would anyone else like to answer? All right, Christian, you can introduce our next student.
Could we please have Emma D. from Ms. Trione's class please come up?
What did you most miss when you were serving?
Emma asked, what did you miss most when you were serving?
So, the question was, what did I miss most? My mother's cooking. Okay, and then after that, it was basically your friends. But you, like earlier, we talked about new friends, right? So throughout your whole life, you just get new friends and new groups that you gel with. But what I missed most was really the cooking and the freedom that you guys are sharing now of being able to do just about whatever I wanted to do on a daily basis. Because in the Army or any of the branches of service, you get to pretty much obey orders all the time. So those are the two things I could attribute to that, is your mom's cooking, okay, and being able to have your freedom. Thank you.
Anyone else?
One thing I definitely miss was being screamed at and yelled at. But I already get that enough from my mom and my father. So that's good enough for me. But another thing that I miss is definitely, like you said, the brotherhood and all the friends and everything that you make. Mom's cooking is definitely a good one. I definitely miss that too. But I also miss being away from home and being away from family. But that's when your friends and everybody that you meet there come into play. Thank you.
All right, anyone else?
One thing that I found out about being, while serving and being in a country that I never been to, is we were all afraid, you know, but we were there with our unit, and basically when all of us guys were united and it just gave us all like courage to, you know, and get ready for whatever, you know, we were going to be up against. And that's one thing that I missed most, is like everybody's afraid, and when we all stick together as a unit, it just helps each and every one of us to get through all the tough times being in a foreign country. Thank you.
Anyone else? All right, I believe I'm back to Emma.
Can we please have Brian from Miss Cody and Mr. Sweeney's class please come up?
What motivated you to join the military?
So Brian's question was, what motivated you to join the military?
Hello. What motivated me was, as I was growing up and young, like all of you, a lot of members of my family, my older cousins, my father, my grandfather, all served in the military. So I kind of grew up with that military mindset. And what I did learn when I entered the military is the most important thing was that each individual, whether it's a man next to you or your group that's with you, these men care more about the group than themselves, which means I cared more about the man next to me, and he was more important to me than my own needs. And I think that's one of the greatest lessons I learned being in the military. Thanks.
Anyone else?
So what motivated me to join the military, I joined in 1999. It wasn't a wartime then. But I grew up on the water, on the ocean, on boats, a fisherman my whole life. I got to see Coast Guard while I was out there. I didn't even know too much about it. I just decided I want to go drive boats. I want to go rescue people. But at the same time, there was some schooling involved when I was really motivated to be a marine biologist, and there was a marine science program in the Coast Guard, and I thought that was a good opportunity for me to be in it. Fortunately or unfortunately, I didn't even go that route, and I became a boatswain mate where I drove boats every day and rescued people in heavy weather, in the storms where everybody was staying home. I was the one out there in those boats that you're seeing on videos, those great boats blasting through the surf on the beach. That was me out there doing that. So my motivation changed, through the process, but for me it was the love of the water. And then obviously things happened, September 11th and all that, and my branch of the military completely changed from search and rescue to now, guns on boats, patrolling rivers all over the place. So it's just an adaptation part of it. But my initial was just to continue doing the things that I loved, and there was an opportunity in the military to do it that way.
Anyone else? All right, Kirsten, you have our next student representative.
Can we please have Kaylee from Miss Maricondi and Miss Costa's class please come up? Did you get a lot of sleep? What were the sleeping conditions like?
Kaylee asked, did you get a lot of sleep? What were your sleeping conditions like? Were any of you at the Motel 6, Holiday Inn?
So I was deployed to Okinawa, so it was expected to be a 6-day work week. So we were awake at 5, chow between 5 and 6. After chow was 3-mile run, and then whatever other activities were scheduled, whether it be training or some kind of guard duty or something like that. When it came to Saturday, we had a 12-mile forced march or run. As soon as that was completed, this was the whole deal behind this, the faster you got it done, the faster you were excused for the rest of the day, and Sunday you were off. And that left Monday to start all over again, same process. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
So my first deployment was Haiti. There was a moment where my whole job was to search people when they came in. So there was a moment where I didn't sleep for 2 days. That was my job. I had to do it 24/7, day and night. Then I was able to get some rest. You usually get about 7 to 8 hours of sleep, usually, if you're not training during the day or during the night. But for me, that's what it was like.
Anyone else?
Okay, basically, like when you, in the field, for field training or whatever, basically, for everybody to be, or the troops to be well rested, what we have is like, some people like would do like watch and guard the perimeter where you're setting up your camp, and basically you'll have a few people like staying up watching while the other troops sleep, so they can get well rested in case of anything that happens. The troops will be well rested, and then they those people that are standing watch duty, they go to sleep, and then the people that were rested, and that's how we did it. And other than that, if you didn't get much sleep, you actually train, and basically it's hard to do, but we did it, and basically that's how it's done in the field and for the military. Okay, thank you.
I'm going to answer that question with a question. How many of you kids have ever gone to a slumber party? Huh? Okay. Well, imagine a slumber party where you actually get some sleep. Because that's what it was like when you're stationed on a ship and everybody is in the same berthing area. And I'm not talking a few dozen kids, I'm talking about 100 or so of your friends, your family as we call them, all right? The sleeping was fine, all right? Because they worked it out where you were tired when you went to bed, all right? And you could sleep soundly in the comfort that you knew that you were there with your friends, your military family. And it made it a lot easier to fall asleep and have a good night's rest, unlike your slumber parties. Okay? Thank you.
Anyone else? All right. We have one more student representative.
Can I please have Carter from Miss Gelshin and Miss Kopko's class please come up?
How did you choose your branch of service?
So Carter asked, how did you choose your branch of service?
Okay, I was a jock. I played a lot of sports and everything, and I wanted a challenge, a person challenge. And if you want a challenge, especially challenge yourself, you join the Marine Corps. And again, like I said, it was a challenge. So any of you out there looking up here at all these veterans and everything, all branches of service are good. It's the individual who puts his heart into it and accepts the challenge, and works for it. You adjust, adapt, and overcome to the challenge, okay? And again, anybody wants to know anything about the Marine Corps, you can see me at the service. Okay, again, it's your choice.
Actually, the choice wasn't really mine. I grew up with a family of Marines, and I was known as the boot, which is a term they constantly used, kind of degrading as far as I was concerned. So I was just waiting for the opportunity for me to become a Marine, so I could stand on a level playing with them. That's why.
Just prior to this assembly, we were sitting in the lounge, and we got this list of questions from all you kids. And this question came up, and my wife asked me, because she never knew how I joined the Navy. Well, the truth be told was, back in the day when you became of age, you were given a draft notice to report for duty. And of course, I being a stupid kid, I ignored it. Until I got the second one that said, if you don't come and join us, we're gonna come and get you. So I went to the recruiting office in Newark, and it just happened to be the Navy recruiter was the first one when I walked in the door. All right? But I have no regrets about joining the Navy. Well, I do have one. The Air Force has better food, trust me. But I was proud to serve my country, and I was proud to be a member of the United States Navy. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, so at this time, I'd like to thank Everly and Krisha for introducing the first half of our student questionnaires. And at this time, I'm going to ask that George and Sasha from Ms. Fleming's class come up to introduce the second half of our students.
Can I please have Adriana from Mrs. Fleming's class please come up?
Was it hard for you to miss family events like holidays and birthdays? Did you celebrate them when you were away?
So Adriana asked, was it hard for you to miss family events like holidays and birthdays, and did you celebrate them when you were away?
That's me again. I think I say this on behalf of all the veterans who are here, that of course we miss all of that, because that's time you're never going to get back. That's why now we appreciate it even more. Birthdays, holidays, new births, and unfortunately some deaths. But that's something that you never forget, something you'll always remember. Okay, I guess that's it. All right, thank you.
Anyone else? No? Okay.
Can I please have Aaliyah from Mrs. Herman's class please come up? What type of food did you eat and drink?
So Aaliyah asked, what type of food did you eat and drink?
This will be quick. Sea rations. The box came with a can of meat, like spaghetti and beef chunks, or beans and meatballs, or ham and eggs. And then there was dessert that could be canned peaches or pound cake. And then it also came with peanut butter and crackers, or jelly and crackers, if I remember right. And came with a utility pack with a small roll of toilet paper, a pack of matches, 5 cigarettes. Sorry I had to say that. And salt, pepper, and creamer with coffee. And a spoon. And I think that's it.
Anyone else?
I want to speak on this one just because I definitely had a little different experience on the food side. I wanted you to hear what these guys actually ate. Since I was on a ship or a small boat station, I ate regular food. I was on a patrol boat in South Florida. We had a chef. We had regular meals every day. I have experienced the MREs and rations. I've had to do that for weeks at a time. You get used to those actually, and they're actually pretty good. They're not too bad. You can still get them too. But each one of these guys is probably gonna have a different experience on the food. I don't know if we have any Air Force guys up here, but I will say the Air Force, hands down, the best food, the nicest gear, the nicest faces. That any military person will tell you that. So just to give you guys a heads up.
Anyone else? Okay.
Okay, I'm going to put a downer on this topic. This other gentleman that had great food with a chef, okay, we had rations that came in a little can. Some of those rations, when you opened them up, they kind of looked like Alpo dog food, and pretty much tasted the same. So if you got lucky and you got a can of peaches, you would try and hold out so that you could use that to barter for the next meal. So in other words, a can of peaches was great, okay? So you could trade a can of peaches for meatballs and spaghetti. You guys may think of it as SpaghettiOs, all right? We weren't even that lucky, okay? And then you gotta eat this stuff out in the field as it's raining. So just picture cold food, stuff that doesn't look very appetizing, in the middle of a rainstorm, and you gotta be glad that you had it, okay? So once you came in out of the field, if you were in basic or what they call basic training or advanced individual training, and you got back to what they call the mess hall, which you guys would think of as a cafeteria, okay? Then you got all the food you wanted to eat. French toast, scrambled eggs, coffee. Coffee was another big thing. You guys probably don't drink coffee, okay? But coffee in the Army was a big 20-gallon pot over like a barbecue pit, so to speak, that boiled, and then the coffee grinds would be in the bottom. We used to pour coffee cans of stuff into a pot, fill it with water, heat it up out in the field, and then the rain would help fill it up also, and that was considered great, all right? Now, that's what I feel was the majority of us up here. That's pretty much what we ate day in and day out. And unlike the Air Force or the Coast Guard over here, we weren't as privileged to have a chef. But it was all good because I'm still here and it didn't kill me. Thank you.
Anyone else? All right, who's introducing our next student?
Can I please have Carmine from Mrs. Snorbush and Miss Siglam's class please come up?
What was the best lesson you learned while serving the military?
So Carmine asked, what is the best lesson you learned while serving in the military? The best lesson learned? I think you guys probably learned what it means to stand for something greater than yourself. And I think you learned what it means to be part of a team, right? And to appreciate what you have. Anyone else want to help me here? No? All right. Yeah, you want to go? Thank you for saving me.
Yeah, you pretty much, especially when I deployed to Iraq, you move in with people, you live there. Some of them are from different states, and you meet them for the first time, you have to trust them with your life. So you have to be able to trust them, everybody who's around you, even if you don't know them.
See, I just had to start them off.
The biggest thing that I learned about being in the military, serving in the military, is teamwork and unity that helps everybody get through the day.
please have Isla from Mr. Dwyer's please come up? What was your day-to-day schedule like?
All right, so Isla asked, what was your day-to-day schedule like?
All I could say is that the day-to-day schedule for if you were out in the field for any long duration was no sleep, soaking wet, sweating, mosquitoes, and freezing at night. That was your schedule.
Anyone else? All right, would you like to introduce our last student questionnaire?
Can I please have Kaylee from Mrs. Gurel's class please come up?
What is one memory from your service that stands out to you the most?
So your final question from Kaylee is, what is one memory from your service that stands out to you the most? I can't help you guys with this one.
Okay, all of us probably have different memories. All of us have different ideas of what they brought back from the service. For me, it was my friendship with total strangers from all over the country that till this day, which is for me about 50 years ago, I still have contact with. So those are the kind of friendships that last in your mind and in your heart, and you remember the camaraderie between you and your soldier next to you, the person that you wake up with, the person you go to dinner with, the person that you go out in the field with, the person that you protect. So all of that, for me, is what I brought back and is my fondest memories, is friendship. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Having graduated from Paris Island, I use the word graduation, but that's what they call it when you go to Paris Island, to get trained to be a Marine. And that was in 1960, and there was 97 recruits. That's what they call you when you first start. You're a recruit. And for the 13 weeks of training, which the Marines go through, it made me very proud that I received Outstanding Marine in my platoon, 212, in 1960.
Anyone else?
My greatest memory, I guess, would be that, and this is a tribute to my father. I was at the first day of the rifle range, and we were to shoot at certain targeting at certain distances, 200 yards, 300 yards, 500 yards. My score was very, very high, and the drill instructor pulled me aside, and he said, he asked me who did I think I was, who taught you how to shoot like that, and I told him my father, and which didn't turn out too well for me because for the next week I didn't see the referee because I was punished every day. Because he certainly looked at me and said, "So you think you're good enough? We'll find out."
At this time, I'd like to thank George and Sasha for introducing our students. That comes to the end of our question section. So thank you so much. You can both find a seat. Thank you so much for sharing your stories with us. We appreciate every single one of you. And at this time, I have somebody who would like to tell you guys something very special.
Well, first of all, one of the things that you heard a lot of, you heard the word family spoken many, many times by these veterans up here. And I want to tell you that when I taught middle school, I used to tell my students in my class, we are a family while we are in this class. We will respect each other and we will protect each other. And you're a family here in this school. And I think I speak for all the teachers here, that as a teacher, you may leave our classroom, but you will never leave our hearts. You are part of our family. And these gentlemen and lady to my left, Jacob in his dress blues, he's heard from Mel, and Janet and Mel folded the flag. I'm not a veteran. I am in the Marine Corps League with them, and we are family. And I can tell you, every time we meet and every time we leave each other, we hug and say, I love you. So we are a family, and so are you, and I hope you appreciate that. And now I'd like to share something with you. What is a veteran? Some veterans bear visible signs of their service, a missing limb, a jagged scar, certain look in the eye. Others may carry the evidence inside them, a pin holding a bone together, a piece of shrapnel in the leg, or perhaps another sort of inner steel, the soul's ally forged in the refinery of adversity. Except in parades, however, and maybe on days like today, the men and women who have kept America safe wear no badge or emblem. You can't tell a vet just by looking. He's the cop on the beat who spent 6 months in Saudi Arabia, sweating 2 gallons a day, making sure the armored personnel carriers didn't run out of fuel. She, or he, is the nurse who fought so hard to save lives and went to sleep sobbing every night. He's the POW who went away, one person, and came back another, or didn't come back at all. He's the Quantico drill instructor who has never seen combat, but has saved countless lives by turning slouchy kids into Marines and teaching them to watch each other's backs. He's the 3 anonymous heroes in the Tomb of the Unknown, whose presence at Arlington National Cemetery must forever preserve the memory of all the anonymous heroes whose valor dies unrecognized, with them on the battlefield or in the ocean's sunless deep. A veteran is an ordinary, yet an extraordinary human being, a person who offered some of their life's most vital years in the service of their country, and who sacrificed their ambitions so others would not have to sacrifice theirs. A veteran is a soldier, a sailor, and a sword against the darkness, and they are nothing more than the finest, greatest testimony on behalf of the finest, greatest nation ever known. A veteran is a person who fell in love with their country, for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health. A veteran is a person who is willing to lay down their life for the Statue of Liberty so that her poor, her huddled masses, her homeless, her tempest-tossed, may breathe free and may enjoy life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. A veteran is a person who does what he must in spite of personal consequences, in spite of obstacles and dangers and pressures, for that is the basis of all human morality. A veteran is one who gets a lump in their throat when he or she sees our beloved flag, one who will fight to protect our beautiful flag from those who dare to destroy it. A veteran serves their country honorably and cherishes their freedom passionately. A veteran is one deserving of our appreciation, our love, and our prayers 365 days a year. So remember, each time you see someone who has served our country, just lean over and say thank you. That's all most of them need, and in most cases, it will mean more than any medals they could have been awarded or that they were awarded. Now I'd like to ask you to do me a favor. Could you all stand up, please? Now, could you all take your right hand and put it over your eye? And could you salute these veterans and say thank you? Thank you. Thank you for having us. Thank you for being such a great audience. You all have a great day.
All right. You can all have a seat. You can all have a seat. You can all have a seat. I just want to take this time to thank you all for being a great audience. But most of all, again, we're here to thank our veterans. So in your loudest voice, can you say thank you for your service? 1. At this time, Dr. Chetta does have some closing remarks for us. And then after Dr. Chetta speaks, can I please have each student representative that has their thank you cards meet me by the yellow wall. Thank you.
So wow, what a treat. We actually had the opportunity to spend Veterans Day with folks that served our country. So I want to give some final thank yous. And without a doubt, we have to thank our esteemed veterans for being here with us this morning. One more time, wonderful Woodland School. Let's thank our guests. I have to thank my wonderful Woodland team of professionals who always work alongside me. I have to thank some visitors who are with us today. We have folks from our central office team supporting our work always. Thank you for being here with us. We have folks who visited us from the Board of Education. Those are the people who support our work, the vision for what you all get to experience every day. Thank you to our Board of Education. Thank you to Dr. Lehman, our acting superintendent, for his support, who visited us today to be part of our day. And of course, I can't end our presentation without thanking Mr. Reinhold for his leadership, Ms. Herman and Ms. Fleming for their leadership in this work. So let's do one more round of thank yous because we are a lucky community today. So the celebration continues because we still have a lot of Veterans Day left and we still get to live amongst veterans all the time. The celebration continues with our gratitude, with our respect, with our growth. In learning in school, you are giving back to these veterans because you are showing them that your education, the freedom they worked for, is here in front of them because you are our future. And we are looking forward to your growth every day. So lucky us, lucky you, lucky wonderful Woodland because we had this opportunity today. So thank you again. And now I think we have to have our volunteers who have some thank yous for our veterans from you. So if I could have our student volunteers with their thank yous, I think we're just about ready. All right, ready now? And these were the cards that you all made for our veteran visitors. Thank you. They get to take those home because they are messages of our gratitude.